ladies and gentlemen around the world. It is 9 o'clock. You are listening to myself, Sean, and
I'm Jesse Mack.
Jesse Mack. I'm still going to call you Shark Uppercut because I love that name so much.
I did tell you to never use any of my other names. Call me Shark Uppercut.
Call me Shark Uppercut.
Sorry about that. Got a little loud.
Sean and Shark Uppercut here.
I'm Jesse Mack. Just let's go with my human name.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm sorry. Proper introductions.
Yes.
You guys are tuned in to Then Now, Whenever, live on Lehigh Valley Underground Radio, WLVU, and streaming live on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Then Now Whenever. You are here with, are you ready?
Yes.
You are here with Shawn Michael, Jesse Mack, and Clicky Von Wheeler.
That's right. Old tippity tap. And
is he here?
Oh my God.
Is Greg here?
Wait.
He's not.
He's not here again.
Damn it.
Maybe next week. Maybe next week.
You know what, man? This is just... Oh, God. Anyway.
One of these days.
One of these
We're going to get a Greg back. So what are we talking about tonight?
Tonight, we are going to talk about... the topic that Clicky gave us last week was gimmick.
Yes.
And so, you know, with that topic, we had in mind kind of talking about gimmicks that were just... not all they were cracked up to be. And, you know, in some ways, it was just a terrible gimmick and a guy who just wasn't a very good talent to begin with, or a guy who, in this case, and in this week's case, in my opinion, it seems like a guy who could have been the Braun Strowman that we have, like now, a couple of years ago, just as a beast. You know what I mean?
There's one thing that...
a crappy gimmick.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself. We're going to be talking about the Funkasaurus.
The Funkasaurus.
Brodus Clay.
Brodus Clay.
I actually, I feel like WWE does, one of the things they do better than almost any other wrestling company out there is to build monsters. They usually build them to feed directly to somebody.
With the exception of, like, Goldberg. Goldberg was WCW's one of the greatest creations.
Yes, but I mean, like, I would not have expected Umaga to feel like hot fire. And
how about it?
He was hot fire for a short time there until John Cena.
I didn't buy it at first. And then I was like, wow.
That's the way it always happens.
Yeah,
You're just, I don't know. I don't really care. Oh my God, he keeps winning. And, oh, can he beat this guy? Oh my God, he's beating this guy? And then all of a sudden he's facing John Cena. And maybe he's the guy who can beat John Cena. You
know who I think the two greatest examples of that are?
Yes.
Of guys that you're just like you see the gimmick, you see the guy, and you're just like, okay, you're big, but... And then they start building them up to the point where even if I personally as a fan am like, ugh, there are still people who are like, that dude is scary.
Yeah.
To me, the two best examples of that are Giant Gonzalez.
Oh yeah.
Giant Gonzalez from the late 80s, early to mid 90s.
Kind of a wet fart of a wrestler, but visually intimidating.
They made him intimidating.
Yeah.
And he ended up fighting The Undertaker.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So
he made The Undertaker look small, which is kind of great.
Yeah.
He's a true giant.
And then, of course, the Great Khali. I know. I know.
If only he could do anything.
Yeah.
If only he wasn't a puppet made out of 2 wooden legs on a hinge joint.
Well, I'll tell you what. He was a good man. He did pass down the arm race to Braun Strowman. We used to have little bets amongst ourselves as my friends. When we would watch pay-per-views and stuff, and anytime the Great Khali came out, it was we'd give you have to try and guess the over/under on how many times he'd raise his arms. Like that's
he was a Frankenstein.
He definitely looked like a Frankenstein.
Yes.
So
yeah. So what's going on this week in WWE?
Wait, this week in WWE?
You mean do we want to talk things through, or do we want to get that hot recap going?
I think we should get our hot recap going and then talk about it.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
We're talking about what?
This week in WWE.
This week in WWE.
This week in WWE, Ronda Rousey and our little pork chop Kurt Angle made a match at WrestleMania against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Alexa Bliss gave Nia Jax a pep talk that left her in tears. Matt Hardy announced that he'd fight Bray Wyatt in his backyard. Better than the House of Horrors? Yeah, pretty much has to be. Sami Zayn agreed to lay down for Kevin Owens at Fastlane, but he pinned him on SmackDown. Sami, why? The Riot Squad was there. Drew Gulak kept hopes alive for a better 205 Live by beating Mark Andrews in the Cruiserweight Championship Tournament. Aleister Black felled the mighty Killian Dane for a shot at the NXT Championship at TakeOver New Orleans. And that's what happened this week in WWE.
Thank you, Jesse Mack, for doing that once again. That was great. Hey,
enjoy that.
Did you hear on SmackDown? The Riot Squad was there.
They're kind of doing something now for a bit. So it's exciting. I mean, I'm excited to see if they're there next week.
Yeah.
That is the main thing getting me to come back to SmackDown.
Big shout to Gerard from the Quint Spin Monday nights on WLVU, tuning in on our Facebook live video chat. And if Gerard, if you didn't have a chance to tune in to the shows we watch, I will say once again, Kathy and I wanted to congratulate Gerard. Congratulate you and the station as a whole for taking home, I believe it was 3 Lehigh Valley Music Awards. Gerard, you specifically by name won one of the awards, and I just I'm really proud of you. I know we're very, very happy for you and happy to be a part of this growing station. So yes, congratulations to Gerard and WLVU for their Lehigh Valley Music Award victories.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was very proud to be a part of this award-winning radio station.
Yeah, how about
It
it?
made me feel pretty good.
Good stuff, good stuff. So, Gerard, thank you for appreciating our comment of what part of a wrestler.
Oh, how else can you describe the man?
That's true.
I guess I described him like 7 different ways, and they're all right.
In your legendary quotes that will go down in history with this show, that's going to be the first one.
That
and
let's put it on the wall.
And the eat about butt eaters.
So let's pretend that never happened.
So and this was the thing, by the way, Gerard. As you can see, I've had some fun today. Ended up in the ER, and I'll fill you in on that later.
For those of you on the radio, the boy slipped, and he did some stuff to his thumb.
And my hand mostly.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's mostly the hand.
Oh, God. So luckily, I overheard on the shows we watched, not your dominant hand.
No.
Your southpaw. So
yes.
That's good.
So,
okay.
So let's talk about this week.
Okay.
I thought, it looked like SmackDown may have run a little bit over live.
Yeah.
Because it looked like they cut off his promo.
Yes.
Because Sami Zayn's after that whole thing. Because I fully expected him to do what he did. Well, actually, no, I didn't get what I expected. When they were interviewing him,
yes,
and they asked him about what he did, and he talked about how he was the best, this, that, and the other thing, and Kevin Owens was in there like, what happened?
I could feel that they were itching to just we need to cut. This show doesn't have overrun. We need to cut right now. As soon as he says something where we can cut, we got to chop it off.
That's it.
Yeah.
What I expected Sami Zayn to do was cut that promo. Kevin Owens and everyone is down at ringside like, what just happened? What just happened? And then Zayn to say, hey, listen, I needed to prove and show everybody that I can hang with all of you.
Yeah.
But Kevin, this isn't Fastlane. At Fastlane, my word stands. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's more interesting to let it hang. Let it hang in the air and just have you wonder, is Sami Zayn out for himself, or is he just going to give Kevin Owens an easy win?
Yeah, well, right, of course.
It's because there's even more doubt now than there had been.
But see, I liked the angle of the idea, I should say, fantasy booking here.
Yes, of course.
I need a fantasy booking sound effect. And every time we go into fantasy booking, we hit that. But anyway, so what I need, oh, hi Stephanie, thanks for tuning in. Yay. Is that,
it's my friend Chris.
What's up, Chris?
Yeah.
So,
we're going to an Excellence show on Saturday.
Awesome.
Excellence Professional Wrestling.
Awesome.
They're usually pretty good stuff, so I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been there in quite some time. So,
let me know how it goes. No, it's okay.
Yes.
So
Got a little sidetracked.
Anyway, it's okay. So what I would have liked to see is for him to do like the promo that I had just said, right?
Okay.
Come back and say, hey, listen, this was SmackDown, and I just need everybody here to see that not only are you capable of beating everyone in this ring,
yes,
but so am I, and that's why we're the best team and we have each other's backs. And for him to say, but on Sunday, my word stands, Kevin, don't worry about it. This is not Fastlane.
Yeah.
And then, at Fastlane, when he lays down for Owens, which I think you still may get.
Oh, you're going to get that,
he rolls him up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can't wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. And then they're just going to be, oh, what? No, they're going to make the faces back and forth.
Yes.
And, it's going to be good. I am so happy about their friendship.
Yeah.
It makes me so happy.
It's a festival.
Yeah. I don't want to stick on the current for too long.
No.
I want to get to the then.
Yeah.
But that Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax promo, that was a thing of beauty on Raw, where she talked to her
in the backstage,
where Alexa talked to Nia, and she got the real tears pumping, where she was comforting her friend, but also being just a total jerk about it.
Okay.
In that way that Alexa Bliss is just she's perfecting her craft.
I will say, okay, yeah. I think that for me,
Yes.
and don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Alexa Bliss fan.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I love the promo. I don't think there's a better promo in the business right now.
It's hard to think of one.
Okay, but I will
She's up
say
there.
this: Nia Jax's ability to cry on command was the best part of that, because for me, there were two problems I had with the Alexa Bliss promo.
Okay.
Number one, from the first line of it,
Yeah.
it was a super predictable promo.
Yeah.
That she was there, not to really console her, and just to kind of make her feel like crap. You know what I mean? Without being blatant about it, because that's what Alexa is, does.
Yeah, she's the worst friend.
Yeah, and the thing is, so there was that, and the other thing is, for me, it was so heavily scripted, and you knew that because if it hadn't been, she wouldn't have. She went on and on and
She had a lot of material,
like way too much. The idea with something like that, I think, is to get in there, like, make it clear what you're doing,
Yeah.
and then just walk away.
I feel like if you have a laser-focused promo like that, it's better to have a good scripted promo where you're not tripping over your feet or forgetting things to say than to have one that might meander or might miss a point.
Right.
So I'm pretty much okay with it, and I felt like it was transparent in her acting. Like,
Yes.
In her delivery, Alexa Bliss, you wouldn't be able to tell. But I feel like even with the predictability, the thing I didn't predict was Nia Jax squirting out them real tears.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And I felt something by the end of that, which is what I'm looking for. That's what I watch wrestling to do.
Yeah.
To get those feels.
Alexa Bliss is just... See,
You
Gerard,
and me both.
We need, and we'll talk about this on an upcoming episode, but we need to get Alexa Bliss down there to bid on you at the singles auction.
We'll see if we can make that work, yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're talking about all this sad, depressing stuff. Let's talk about Brodus Clay.
well, I'll tell you what. Let's talk about some Brodus Clay. I'll tell you
All
what.
right.
Before we do
And you want to take a moment?
talk about Brodus Clay,
All right.
why don't we take a quick break,
Okay.
play a little bit of music, and then we'll come back.
Sounds very good.
All right, so let's play some local music here. This is Lehigh Valley Underground Radio, WLVU. We are streaming live on Facebook, facebook.com/then-now-whenever. And we are going to play a song from a band from Lehigh Valley called Sunsets North. This is Can't Relax. You are tuned in with Sean and Jesse on Then, Now, Whenever. And we'll be right back talking Brodus Clay right after this.
All right.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, Gerard, by the way. I appreciate you hanging with us. Stephanie and Chris, whoever's out there, thank you guys.
Yeah.
And hope you guys can hear this. I forget if I was talking with Kathy last week. We played this song on WLVU.
Yeah.
And this song has a very Nine Inch Nails feel to it.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Unrelated, there's a lot of Nine Inch Nails, like the more recent stuff that I hadn't listened to.
Yeah.
But I have it on my phone, and one of them shuffled up, and I was like, this sounds like Trent Reznor, but it does not sound like a Nine Inch Nails song. It was Nine Inch Nails. It was from, I think, his last album. I still love before.
I still love This Is a Trent Reznor song.
I don't think I've heard that.
Really?
You can't see everything on the internet. You're gonna have
What?
You're gonna have gaps in
You
your
don't know
knowledge.
this?
I don't.
I showed this to Kathy.
Okay.
And she, Kathy.
Oh yeah. That's where I got the fandom from.
Yeah.
She had Broken
She
on
was-
EP before before Downward Spiral came out. She was in there early.
So I showed her this video. She fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll find it entertaining
I should.
because it's this guy who's basically like singing about Trent Reznor songs.
Yeah.
And how they're all similar.
Yes.
And it's amazing. So I'll show you that. So we got about a minute left, and then we'll be back live on WLVU, Lehigh Valley Underground Radio.
Yes.
I'm really upset that I never got, for whatever reason, and I don't know why I did that with these,
Huh.
or maybe they didn't ask me, but these glasses don't have the anti-glare,
Okay.
and so everything reflects off them.
Ah.
So it's like if I look at the
Oh,
screen,
yeah,
I have no
yeah.
eyes.
Yes. No, I apparently also don't have that. I look terrible. Excuse me. I've been biting my lip.
You got a comment from a James Hopkins, but I can't check it out. But you can.
I could.
Hey, you know it's gonna be.
This makes for interesting video.
It does.
Me
How'd you do on
looking at the
HQ?
phone. Oh, I didn't get to play.
Oh,
I
come on!
I have work to do.
Come on! Jump on HQ.
they would like to see it.
What's
James
that?
Hopkins, apparently the show, I would think.
Oh, tell him to go back on our page, or you can maybe find the link.
It's not working. Okay.
Here we go. You got a minute still.
Okay.
Here we go. Right?
Call my mama. Somebody call my mama. Somebody call my mama. Somebody call my mama.
Oh yeah,
Somebody
live
call my mama.
Thursday night, 9:20 p.m. You are listening to Then, Now, Whenever, and Somebody Call My Mama. Somebody Call My Mama. That is the infamous theme song of the one and only Funkasaurus, Brodus Clay, who was with WWE for some time after coming up from the developmental.
Yep.
And I want to thank everybody for tuning in on Facebook, tuning in on WLVU, and So the Funkasaurus. So first thing, and I've been wanting to talk about this, and I'm sure we're on the same page here.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you that are WWE fans that have been watching for quite some time, if you go back, and there are little things that, like, you hear them, you see them, they use them in one-offs, and then you never hear them again, and you don't even realize it. For those of you who had watched after Shawn Michaels made his triumphant return to the WWE,
Yes.
he and Vince, and I guess this led up to him and Vince having a match.
Okay.
Yeah, right? Shawn and Vince, right?
We might not be on the same page. Finish the
Tell
story.
me, no, I want you to go first.
Okay.
I'm going to stop.
From what I understand, that song was also used by Ernest the Cat Miller when he had a short stint in WWE.
That makes all the sense in the world.
All the sense in the world.
Because he used to say,
Somebody call my mama. Yeah, like they probably wrote it for him.
Here's why I feel so great about the conversation that we're having.
How could there possibly be anything else?
I'm going to one-up that.
Okay, let's go.
If you look back,
Yes.
this was used, because Ernest the Cat probably wrestled more than once.
Yeah.
I only know this from one single moment in WWE.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't remember the year.
Yep.
But there was a time when Shawn Michaels and Vince had been sparring with each other verbally on the mic.
Yes.
And eventually this leads to a match.
Okay.
Vince McMahon versus
Is it God?
the Almighty God. Now,
Is that God's
it
music?
starts, hang on, it starts
Oh no.
with just Vince introduces his opponent,
Yes.
Vince McMahon, and it's God.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a spotlight,
That I remember, yes.
and it's following down the rampway, nothing. And then Vince says, stop, everybody stop, stop right now, bring the lights up. And he goes, this is God. Something like, this is the Almighty. They're like, come on, we gotta liven this up, God. You gotta really have that entrance down. Somebody play some music, give us some music. They play that song.
Oh God. Literally.
And then Vince, there's the famous GIF out there of Vince like doing the Vince dance around the ring, and it was to that entrance.
Oh my God.
So Brodus Clay's music, prior to being Brodus Clay's music, was also the theme song for God.
You know what? It's a step up. It's a step up. The Funkasaurus is quite a character. It's I don't want to get ahead of myself too much. That's this thing that I say a lot, but I don't. I did a little bit of watching of the only Funkasaurus in captivity today.
The only Funkasaurus in... Oh my God.
I got to tell you, I kind of love the Funkasaurus. I was not expecting to enjoy this man as much. I remember being kind of lukewarm, like enjoying the gimmick for the silliness that it was, but oh my God, like I am all in. If he ever comes back, I'm gonna lose my mind. Like it's like who do I want to see come back? Like Molly Holly came back.
Yes, and
like,
you popped.
Yeah, and I'd be like, oh my God.
I popped
The
the
Funkasaurus.
hard for Beth Phoenix when she came back to Rumble, you know?
Yeah, that's
and
good stuff.
Here's the thing, but and maybe you're going to get into this, and if you are, I'm going to actually start this and hand it off to you.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. My thing is
Let's talk it out.
here's why I had a hard time getting into the Funkasaurus.
Yes.
Okay, because I like many people. I'm going to say many. But
Okay.
probably, I don't know how big the percentage is these days, but I'm going to say this.
Mhm.
I like many, and one of those people that I read what they call the dirt sheets, and so it was my understanding. While I didn't know a whole lot about developmental back then, I didn't follow developmental a lot.
Right. It was a lot harder to find it. Yeah.
That he was supposed to come up and be a monster. And I think it was that he leaked that he was coming up, and maybe I'm wrong. You can correct me. But,
I can't actually.
But am I correct that he was not supposed to be this? He was supposed to be a monster, and then something, and then basically he was in the doghouse, and they gave him this gimmick, and because I was under the understanding and of the belief that he would do this, pay his penalty, and they were going to transition him out of it. And because I had read that,
Mm-hmm.
I never gave a crap about this Funkasaurus gimmick because I was always waiting for, this is going to be where he's going to turn.
You're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yes, and it never happened.
Never did.
It never happened, and that
Never
was
did.
so frustrating.
That is very frustrating.
So go ahead.
Let me tell you what I've gleaned from the halls of the internet and from the WWE network. What was it, late 2011, they started playing vignettes for Brodus
I think,
Clay.
yes, by the way, I think it was around 2006.
Vince McMahon versus Guy?
Yeah.
That sounds about right. They were like, Brodus Clay is coming up, and they had these gnarly promos, like these gnarly vignettes where it's, I'm an unstoppable juggernaut, I'm going to crush the world, kind of stuff, like just like over-the-top monster junk.
Who was the guy, I'm sorry, real quick, who was the guy that they did the same thing with? Because this is what it reminded me of. It reminded me of this guy from the early 2000s, Nathan...
Are you thinking of Nathan Jones?
Nathan Jones.
Oh, yeah.
It reminded me of those promos
man.
a bit.
Yeah, those promos were amazing, and then Nathan Jones showed up, and it was trouble.
But do you know what I'm saying, though?
Yes.
Those intense promos, lots of black and white,
yes,
like griminess.
It was very much just like him in a dark room, face lit enough that you could see his monster face, but not enough that you could make out anything else that's going on. A lot of graphics on the screen. It was intense stuff, and they played those from what I've read for pretty much almost every week. And actually, I found the first one, and they were in the UK, and David Otunga and John Laurinaitis, who was the general manager at the time, were talking, and then Otunga said, "Hey, wasn't Brodus Clay supposed to be here?" He's like, "No, we're going to save that for a real city. We're not doing that in Liverpool. He'll be here next week." And so every week they had the promo, and it's like Brodus Clay coming next week for 2 months, for almost two solid months, and then they finally got there, and that was the joke, because they keep showing this monster, and then Funk is on a roll.
So you don't have there's not more to that as far as you had found.
I don't know the story of why they make. Actually, I do. I did watch an interview that he did where what he gleaned from it, unless it was a doghouse type of situation, was that they had too many monsters already. Where they had Kane, they had Big Show. He had 5 different monsters. Where it's like there are 5 guys who are going to overshadow Brodus Clay, Big Dude. So they thought, let's do something different to make him shine.
So,
and oh boy, did he!
Okay, yeah, because I specifically remember that reading in multiple sources at the time that he was set to come up and make a big debut, and he was going to be a destroyer, and he leaked his debut on Twitter. I think it was at the time.
That might have been why.
And so and again I. Take for what you will, and I guess Vince was pissed about it, and they gave him that gimmick, and hey, listen, I give him credit because
he went all out on it.
He owned
gave it everything he had,
and that is why I kept thinking, okay, he's gonna get out of this doghouse because he's owning it.
Yes,
just like when Triple H went in the doghouse, and he owned it. He took every ass kicking, for a long time. After the click thing.
Yes.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's just I found a lot of interesting stuff when I just went outside of my comfort zone and started digging a little deeper. He believes there's no reason for him to have a dancing gimmick other than one joke that he played on Daniel Bryan once, where he danced for him on a tour bus in Europe to Moves Like Jagger. And apparently somebody ratted him out, and it got back to Vince, and he was like, "That's the character." And
oh no!
Although to help things out a little bit, he also did say that Vince helped him develop. Like he was like, "These are the dance moves you should do." Like so, imagine
like
Vince McMahon.
A dinosaur.
Vince McMahon. He might not have had the claws, but he had like this. These are the slides. These are the moves, which kind of makes sense when you see him dance. Like Brodus Clay did not really have the moves. That's why he had the Funkadactyls, because they danced around him.
Right.
He was the background. One of my favorite things about Brodus Clay was, and it used to annoy my wife so much because she started kind of watching with me because this was in the CM Punk times, was that like the music would play out, he'd tear off his pants, throw them down, and stomp.
Yeah.
And then the pyro would go off half a second later. Like,
yeah, I hate that too.
It always felt like he should time it where he stomps. It's like, the pyro goes off. Not once. Never ever happened.
Never happened.
It was like it was designed to be terrible.
Also, why are you stepping on pants?
Because
why?
I don't know. He's dominating them.
Why? And sometimes they didn't come off.
No, though that was also hilarious. I did see one where he pulled on it and he just stomped it out. Just stomped it out even though the pants were still on.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Another fun bit. Let me talk about Brodus Clay a little bit.
Yeah, please.
Pre-Funk. Unbeknownst to me, it seems he was actually hired in 2006, which is insane, and wrestled as G-Rilla, which, honestly, love it.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Because, Brodus, I love you. You've got kind of a crazy face, and G-Rilla fits very nicely. I can also understand why they wanted him to be a happy, fun-loving guy, because his smile is like
infectious.
He has so much smile. He has that Mariah Carey, Busta Rhymes, Julia Roberts thing where it seems like he has 45 teeth. It's great. I love it.
All them teeth and no toothbrush.
Yes. So he got let go and brought back, and then he was put on to season 4 of NXT when it was a game show.
Who was on that season? Do you remember anybody else?
That was the one that Johnny Curtis won, who was Fandango. Derek Bateman was on.
I didn't watch that season at all.
No, most people kind of like fell off during the female season 3, because some of that was really unwatchable.
Yeah.
And by that point, the announcers had just stopped caring about the show. They were actively talking down the show while it was happening, as though like, how are you watching this garbage? Who would put this on TV? You're dumb for watching this.
But season 4 had other good talent that we just
Derek Bateman, who is now Ethan Carter III, or EC3, who's going to be in NXT real soon. Oh yeah, they had. Oh, and also Byron Saxton, who had the worst finisher of all time.
What was it?
I don't. It was some kind of thing where he like grabbed you and then he spun around, grabbed you again, and then he fell. It was god awful.
Did he?
I can't even describe it. He must have. There's no way somebody gave that to him. Who else? Oh, Connor from the Ascension. He was Connor O'Brien. It wasn't a who's who exactly.
No, but that's a talented class.
Almost everybody in there went on to do something. Like there was Jacob Novak who went on to do nothing. Pretty much everybody else got a spot.
That's impressive.
It was a good class.
Because if you remember back to like Tough Enough 1.
Oh yeah.
Like that was.
Right, but NXT was a different animal. NXT was, these are the guys who we think are something,
yeah,
and we're going to let them go through the paces. We're going to see what they're made of. We're going to let them develop their characters on screen, live in person, and then if you grab onto them, we'll do more with them. If not, we'll figure out what else we can do with them. Connor did a lot of like James Cagney impressions and really liked cheese. That was kind of his thing. Guess what? That wasn't great. Let's make you a weird like goth vampire with the best lighting.
Wait, one more time?
Oh, I can't.
His gimmick was what?
He did a lot of like, Connor, see? And it was it was deeply bad.
And he liked
so
cheese.
He liked cheese so much. And Johnny Curtis was pretty much Fandango without the dancing, where he was just like a gross human being, and people loved it, and he won.
Okay, so real quick, so take me back. So now,
yes.
So he was in season 4.
Yes.
And
actually, runner-up of season 4. He almost won.
Okay. What do you think cost him?
I think because he was playing a heel, so he didn't get the crowd vote. That would be my best guess. Because it's almost impossible to win that show, which is like supposed to be half audience vote, if you're actively trying to hate on the audience.
Right.
So, I would think if anything it was that.
Okay. So he finishes runner-up.
Yep. And then he actually... Oh, sorry. Did you have more?
No. Go ahead. So, go ahead.
He actually showed up, and I'd forgotten about this entirely, as Alberto Del Rio's bodyguard for a time. Even accompanied him to WrestleMania 27, which, again, giant holes in my memory, which is...
But they're good at making you forget things they don't want you to remember.
This is why we do the show, because so much of this is just a jumble of forgotten memories. When I went back and watched it again, it's like, okay, no, I do kind of remember him being there. This was a thing. He left shortly after that to film a movie, kind of came back and squashed jobbers on Superstars, and then we started getting the vignettes that he was going to come up, and then the Funkasaurus
Do we know what
showed
the
up.
movie was?
It was called No One Lives.
Okay.
It was a generic WWE-produced horror film. That,
Sure was.
I remember from glancing at the Wikipedia page, had like a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, what you'd expect.
Oh, God.
Not the worst garbage, but is garbage.
Pretty hot garbage.
Is hot garbage. Alright, so let's get back to what we're here for. Let's get back to the meat of the funk. That is Brodus Clay.
Talk to me.
Yes. Alright. He was on TV constantly at that point, pretty much. Like, almost every Raw... At this point, the brand split had degenerated, where they still had people who were only on SmackDown, but people who were on Raw were everywhere. Right. Or no, other way around. People who were on SmackDown were on the Raw Super Show, and then some people would bleed over, but, you know, if you were only on one brand, you were not doing so well.
Right, of course.
Like, everybody was doing double duty at that point, pretty much. And so he was just squashing people left and right for a few months. I want to say he had a huge winning streak of, I think, like 20-some wins before he ran afoul of the Big Show. And you can only get so many DQ wins against the Big Show before he actually beats you. And I don't think it was even played up as that much. It was just, well, there you go. That's the thing. When you have a monster, you have to put him up against either a John Cena-type hero or another monster to prove his worth. And he was found unworthy. So, there you go. He did dance with his mama, though, at WrestleMania 28. Or a bunch of mamas, if I remember correctly.
I think it was a bunch.
Which, that was something. I don't know if it was something.
His entrances were never really different.
No,
from
they
one
never
another,
were.
But at WrestleMania, it was really enjoyable.
I don't even know if he wrestled. I think he just called his mama. And then his mama showed up. And they had a dance party for 5 minutes.
What mania was that?
28. That would have been the first Once in a Lifetime.
Right.
The first time you did the Once in a Lifetime
And then
match.
twice in a lifetime.
Twice in a Lifetime. He... Was he even on that show? That was the one where he was cut for time. It was a mixed...
I remember that.
Mixed gender match with the Bellas and Rhodes Scholars against the Funkadactyls, Brodus Clay, and... it was... By that point, he had formed Tons of Funk.
That's right. I think they were upset about that getting cut.
Oh, I was upset too. I remember being in the arena, just being like, well, at least I've got one good match before John Cena and The Rock, because I did not want to see that at all. And then it's like, John Cena's music hit. It's like, they're putting Brodus Clay on last? This is amazing.
I was there for that.
You were there.
And we were pissed too.
Because I think I didn't watch season 3 of NXT the whole way through at that point, but I did know Naomi from that. And I loved her. She deserved better, and I wanted to see her wrestle. She almost never got to wrestle as a Funkadactyl. So I was really looking forward to that match, and...
Who won Season 3?
Season 3... I think it was Caitlyn, actually.
Okay.
I think they kind of... Everything kind of went wrong that season, and it should have been AJ's to win, but she got voted out third from last because some people got immunity points.
AJ was on it?
AJ was on that. Caitlyn, Oksana, who you might remember as the lady who had saxophones following her everywhere.
Yeah.
Managed Cesaro for a while. Teddy Long was all hamana. Yep.
Was that the one with Eva Marie?
No, she was never on one of those.
Okay.
She just kind of showed up out of nowhere and everybody hated her. Or she was on a Diva search. I can't remember.
Yeah.
The Maxine was on that season.
Yep.
Who didn't really make it that much far. She never made it onto pure WWE TV, but she made a good career outside of it. She was great in Lucha Underground.
Okay.
Although forgetting her name now because I fell off on Lucha Underground. I really need to watch the rest of it. It's on Netflix. Watch Lucha Underground. It's real good.
Do it.
Do it.
I am cyber nationing you too much. So back to the Funkasaurus.
Oh, okay. I sort of stepped on this already, but in January of, 2013? Yeah, 2013. So this was when CM Punk was at his high point as champion. Daniel Bryan is the world champion. This is when wrestling is hot. Like, there's good stuff happening pillar to post.
Like a renaissance.
Yeah, like this is when good things are going to happen. They did one of those Las Vegas shows with the Raw Roulette Wheel, and Brodus Clay and Lord Tensai had to do a lingerie pillow fight.
Oh, crap, I remember that.
Well, that's not the case, though. They spun the lingerie pillow fight. Tensai was all, no, and walked away.
We did talk about that, Mindy. Mindy on Facebook, watching
Yes.
this on the Facebook stream, facebook.com/thenNowWhenever, live video streaming. And again, she's talking about how they never timed his music. I agree, that used to make me so mad.
My wife. I love her.
It pissed me off.
She is great. So
Now why are we stepping on clean pants?
Ain't clean no mo.
Anyway.
So Tensai stomps away. Lord Tensai used to be Albert. He was a big tattooed dude, went to Japan, found better success there, came back with a weird Japanese gimmick that I really feel like they could have sold that by saying, like, he has absorbed their culture and he is here to represent them and to be as good there as here as he was there. But instead they were just
assimilated him, essentially.
Yeah. And instead they were just like, he went to Japan, he's Lord Tensai, he's strong, he beat John Cena. And they didn't. I hate when I fantasy book things in my head, and my head canon is better than anything that ever happens.
Fantasy booking!
I'll record that for next week. The Vicky Guerrero did not want that to happen. I guess there was performance evaluations that night. You know how Raw goes. So she was like, whatever, spin the second wheel that we have conveniently set up. We're gonna have a dance off instead. Of course, we're gonna have a dance off.
Of course,
it's Brodus Clay. He couldn't do any of the other things. But of course, the joke then is that Brodus Clay says he'll make sure to tell Tensai. They get to the ring. Tensai's wearing a robe. Very embarrassed, takes it off, wearing women's lingerie. And then they tell him it's a dance-off, and he is super unhappy about it.
I remember that.
And they do make him dance, and he does the worst dancing. He even gets worse music, which is unfair. And the Funkadactyls dance with Brodus. Everything is unfair. But Brodus Clay tried to nurture him instead of mocking him. Later in the week on SmackDown, he helped save him from a beatdown after the match, and they became fast friends because they care about each other.
Aww.
And they became tons of funk. With Lord Tensai getting the very slightly better name of Sweet Tea.
Sweet Tea.
Sweet Tea and the Funkasaurus. That is mostly the story of Brodus Clay. There's really not a whole lot else going on with him.
Why did he get let go?
Well, I think it was just they didn't really have much for him. They wanted to see if he could get somewhere else.
Creative has nothing for you.
The classic answer. The only other thing that kind of happened was eventually he sort of fell off of TV, as you do, and Xavier Woods showed up and started using his music for some reason. He showed up as R-Truth's buddy.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Xavier Woods used God's music?
Yes.
What?
It's only appropriate. And R-Truth's music. The God and the devil, essentially.
What?
The top and the bottom.
God used Ernest the Cat more than
Yes. I'm sure he asked permission.
What?
What a tangled web they weave. Fun, if I can go to Tangent City.
Please.
Just for a quick moment, since we're talking about the music appropriation. Cesaro is one of Cesaro's early themes, was originally a Dean Malenko theme, which I found hilarious.
Wait.
When somebody pointed it out. For a short time, Dean Malenko had a James Bondy spy theme.
Yeah.
And Cesaro's original theme was a reworked version of that.
Wait.
It was like
Cesaro?
Yeah.
Who wrestled in the same company as R-Truth?
Yep.
Who partnered once with Xavier Woods, used God's music?
Yes! Oh, you're bringing it back.
I am bringing it back.
Ah, it's so good.
Oh,
I'm not doing this again. Oh, no. I'm doing the arms. I'm just going to slip drop a little bit there.
Somebody call my mama.
Somebody call my mama. Yes.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I had to play that again. So anyway,
So Brodus Clay comes back. He's mad because somebody else is using his music. Rightly so. It was a D move.
What did they call his mama though? If they would have called his mama, they probably could have asked her.
They didn't call his mama.
See, that's what it was.
That's the problem.
Did they call
and then Xavier Woods was like, "You got to call my mama. It's my music." And then, that made him mad.
Well, and then God was like, "You can't call my mama."
I am the Alpha and the Omega. Sorry, guys.
And then that's why Jericho and Kenny Omega fought.
That's right. We figured out, we have solved all of the world's mysteries. I believe this is what the memes call Galaxy Brain. We've reached Galaxy Brain. Oh, man. So he turned on all of his friends. It was just like a big, mean, pouty face. It went nowhere. He later showed up on NXT for his sort of redemption, which I did like when NXT sort of had that role where if you couldn't make it anymore, rather than just let you go right away, they'd be like, well, show us what you've got. Titus O'Neil got a short run in NXT where he kind of shined a little bit because he fought Sami Zayn and other good people. He's still with the company.
Yeah.
Brodus Clay did not do that well. He faced Adrian Neville for the title, lost, and was sent packing in June. So
since then, I know he's done. He did a lot on the Indies for a bit. He went to Impact.
Yes.
I think he's still with Impact, right?
Yes, he is. I believe he left last August because of Jeff Jarrett's stuff, where Jeff Jarrett tried to pull him to Global Force Wrestling for a lot less money, and he said, no, that's no good. Like, I'm gonna stay where it's safer, and where I know I'm getting this good money. And then a few weeks later, Jeff Jarrett showed up with an invasion. So he would have been making less money in the same show, essentially. So he hated Jeff Jarrett for that. And also, possibly for other reasons. I might be oversimplifying it.
Well, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
What, are we cheersing now? Are you pulling the cheers card?
I guess.
Oh, my God. And then Jeff Jarrett got booking power, and he was like, I'm out. And he walked. Since then, they got rid of Jeff Jarrett, and he's like, I'm back.
Funk is on a roll.
Well... So Tyrus,
tell me about Tyrus. I don't know anything about Tyrus.
I honestly haven't watched a lot of TNA from this period.
Like what?
He was EC3's bodyguard.
Okay.
Where when Ethan Carter needed a little extra help, because Ethan Carter had like this amazing run in TNA where he was a great talker and a very, very good wrestler, but he also did whatever he had to win and had a huge winning streak. It was. They booked him not like Goldberg as far as the dominance, but they protected him like he was Goldberg.
Right.
And it paid off. He was their biggest star, their biggest homegrown star, I think. At least one of them. He is up there. So when Tyrus was another tool for him to make sure that he could win. And he was the Brodus Clay you wanted to see. Just big, mean dude. Just roughing guys up.
So let me ask you a question now. Do you and real quick, do you have anything else that you wanted to make sure we cover on Brodus Clay?
Please. I do.
Please.
I
can come into my thing later.
Okay. I've also found, since he's been in TNA, the last year or two maybe, he started appearing on a show on Fox News and talking about his opinions on stuff, which does not jibe with me politically, but more power to him for being a wonderful personality that can get points across.
Well, hey, good for him to be able to grow his brand.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, I watched a little bit of it, and again, I don't agree with what he's saying, but he's an enjoyable man to watch.
Yeah.
He talks well. I would love to agree with him a little more.
If you could.
If I could, but again, more power to him. Good on you for getting yourself out there and finding another avenue where when you got to take a break from wrestling, you still got another job you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very nice stuff. And then I showed you the clip before we came on here. He's been doing a little bit of acting as well.
Yeah, he's been on Glow.
I most recently saw him on Glow, where one of the women that they were trying to shape into a wrestler is from a legacy family.
Right.
She is the daughter of Goliath Jackson, and our two main women want to get a little bit better at wrestling, so the legacy takes the two women to her brothers to try to give them some more stuff that they wouldn't get just from wrestling each other.
Her brothers, of course, happen to be
Brodus
Clay and Carlito.
Who didn't look anything like Carlito.
Well, that's because he spits in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
But he had an apple, so it was definitely Carlito.
Yeah.
He was throwing an apple around. It's that's. Also,
his gimmick.
I know you haven't watched that show yet. You gotta watch it. It will make you actually like Alex Riley, which is an impossible task.
Time out. I did not know that Alex Riley's on there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, joke's on you. I like Alex Riley already. I liked him before.
Can you say that to my face?
No, not now. Yes.
They're the best!
I get it.
Yeah. Alex Riley also went back into NXT
Riley.
and then...
That sucked because I was really a fan.
He had the goods, but he didn't have it.
Right.
That like it's one of those guys where if they ever could have found... I know.
He didn't have...
Dead air on radio?
It!
There you go. Gotta love it.
Okay.
Yes. So that is, I do have something masquerading as a game to play in our final minutes, but what else, is there anything else that you would like to say?
Yeah, just real quick. So
Absolutely.
seeing Brodus Clay, what he was, what he could have been, what he should have been, WWE, especially since Triple H has been getting more involved and whatnot, they're bringing people in that you never would have thought they would have.
Right.
Able to strike deals and make amends. Forgive and forget.
Yeah.
Maybe not forget, but forgive and work around things.
Oh yeah.
So my question is this: you're gearing up for this run for the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And the WrestleMania and the Monday night after WrestleMania is when you make big splashes.
Yes.
If you were going to bring back Brodus Clay,
yes,
assuming his contract was up, with Impact over,
yes,
if you're going to bring him back,
yes,
are you bringing him back to NXT? And I know I don't want to hold up too much of our time here.
Yeah.
Which of the 3 shows are you bringing him back to? What way is he facing, face or heel? And who are you having him feud with?
I have two ideas on this.
By the way,
yes,
I don't know how much you'd thought about this, but I hope that this is as interesting of a question to you as it was in my head.
It's nice. Because I do feel like... I think the obvious answer, at least in my brain, is to do what you said you thought was going to happen all along. That Raw after WrestleMania, he shows up as the Funkasaurus, everybody is super happy to see him, and then he beats the living tar out of somebody who we love, and is just a monster of cruelty. And, Naomi comes up to him backstage, like, hey man, like, what are you doing? Like, that's not you. And he is like, just spits poison on her. And then he fights with the Usos or whatever. You put him on SmackDown after he debuts on Raw. I feel like you have ready-made stuff there if you want to appreciate your past, which every so often WWE will do. Mostly they try to make us forget.
I think you just gave the answer about who he feuds with or beats up. I think he goes out at the end of an Usos match and destroys the Usos.
Yes.
While Naomi is at ringside for whatever reason.
That would be nice.
Right in front of her.
Yeah.
And then, let's say off screen, like one of them is feigned out with an injury.
Yeah. And
so she feuds with Naomi's husband.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but I think that's it.
Yes.
He destroys the Usos.
Yeah.
That would be right in front of Naomi.
Yeah. That would be powerful stuff.
It'd be awesome.
Or you could bring back bland-ass, boring Brodus Clay to NXT, and he would just fail again. Unless you could find a way to package him that made sense.
Yeah, another thing...
And I don't doubt that they could, but they failed the last time. So I don't have... I feel like he has not shown enough since he left to make them want to bring him back. He's not Drew McIntyre.
Well, that's true.
He's not Derek Bateman / EC3.
One other guy that I think you could team him with and just have them dominate really well is you get rid of Aiden English and you team a monster Brodus Clay with Rusev.
That would be nice.
You know what I mean? By the way, before we play our game with a few minutes we have left, I want to say, what I enjoyed, and it was very predictable, but it was great.
What's that?
Rusev telling Shinsuke that, come on, bro, what are you doing? You can't make up your own holiday.
I popped real
Me
good.
too. Shinsuke sounded great, by the way.
Even Mindy liked it.
Shinsuke sounded great when he did his Aiden impression.
Mindy had a different way to go with it. She said to put him on SmackDown, make him heel, have him attack Rusev. So,
it's Brodus Day.
Yeah, and then he would say some kind of thing about only having 2 choices, loving it or stepping in apples. I don't remember what his phrase was, but it was dumb. It never got there.
Did you know he had God's theme music?
I felt like I heard that somewhere, but I do not know.
Yeah, that's the
I do
thing.
not know.
So,
All right.
it's game time.
This is not much of a game, and I'm going to try to find a way. I can't talk at all. Try to find a way to make it interesting for radio, because we did a little bit of this off camera, off studio
Okay.
at one point, and it was a lot of you saying the word
I need some music. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Brodus Clay was let go in June of 2014. He was one of 10 people let go that day. Who else got let go that day?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
2014.
2014. This was a lot of good dead.
A lot of people got fired. This music is way too happy for people getting fired. All right, so here we go. By the way, you're listening to the tail end of Then Now Whatever with Jesse and Sean here. We're talking about Brodus Clay. And so 2014.
Yes. I will start giving you hints pretty quickly, but let's see if you can hit any
Any of them.
hit if you can bullseye any out the gate. Well, one of them is Brodus Clay, so you got 9 left.
Alex Riley.
Alex Riley is not one of them, no.
Okay. Let me think here. 2014.
Yes. I will say one of them has come back and is in the same position he would have been at this time, and was the person squashed in Brodus Clay's first match as the Funkasaurus. So, jobber then, jobber now. What
Shelton
job-
Benjamin?
No. Jobber.
Oh, no. R-Truth?
No. R-Truth is still there, man.
No.
He's still there.
Wait. I'm sorry. Wait. So this person is there now?
Yes, he got fired in 2014. They brought him back, and he is now as big of a jobber as he was then, if not more so. He might be the bottom person in the company.
Oh, Kurt Hawkins.
It's Kurt Hawkins.
Ah, yay!
I'm so sorry for Kurt Hawkins that is, like, bottom person in the company. Oh, Kurt Hawkins, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Who else was let go?
Two of these people were in a group. They both came back. They both had championships since they came back.
They were in a group,
Yes?
and they've come back.
Yes. And they both won prestigious championships since returning.
That would be Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre.
You are correct. And somehow Heath Slater has never dipped below that poverty line. He's got kids. He's doing good. All right. One of them was a regular general manager.
Vicky Guerrero.
No. She actually retired later.
Teddy Long.
It was Teddy Long.
Okay.
Teddy Long got let go, and one of his assistants got let go at the same time. We have mentioned her already in this program.
Yes. Oksana.
It is Oksana. All right. Let's see. One of the people who was let go
3-minute man.
was in a tag team with Kofi Kingston.
Somebody that was in a tag team with Kofi Kingston.
Yes, he's been in a lot of tag teams. What person who had all of the potential in the world and just nothing happened and then he just fell off are we talking about today?
Is he's not there?
He's not there. So wrestling his heart out at the Indies.
Evan Bourne.
It is Evan Bourne. All right, and we have 3 left.
Matt Sydal.
2 of them went to New Japan in the time since they were let go. One of them had his neck broken very dramatically.
No.
And I think he's good. He's good now. But you get your neck broken. AJ Styles, he took a Styles Clash wrong, which, woof.
Oh, God.
That is rough stuff, because, again, like, from what I understand, everything in wrestling tells you to tuck your head, and that move, if you tuck your head, you get spiked, and you hurt yourself.
What did he do in WWE that I would know? Or how would you hint me? Was he of no significance?
He was of no significance, but I always wanted him to be of better significance. He was like the Colin Delaney of Raw. Although he actually I think he started on ECW as well. He was a guy who was just like, it would be neat if something happened with him, but it's never happening. Let me give you a hint. He is Japanese. And he shares a name with a dinosaur from the Mario series.
Oh, Yoshitatsu.
It is Yoshitatsu. I don't want too much dead air on the radio.
No, it's okay.
All right, And the other one is actually...
broke his neck.
Yeah. Apparently he recovered quite well, but it's still... that sucked to hear. One of them is the son of Haku.
I don't know.
But you might remember him as being friends with Huniko.
Oh, let's see. Huniko, Epico, Primo.
Yeah, you're missing one of the O's.
Yeah, hold on. Epico, Primo, Huniko.
Bababo. Burado.
Just give it to me.
Camacho.
Camacho!
It's when Huniko and him...
I remember Camacho.
Yeah, they would come down in dumb bikes. It was real dumb.
Yep.
And one last person got fired that day. And it was somebody who should have been fired years earlier. He had a countdown clock. People were paying attention. Where it's like, is this guy still employed? Yes. Is this guy still employed? Yes. Is this guy still employed? No. He suddenly was not employed, but...
I don't remember.
It was part of a very popular tag team, probably in the late 2000s. And it was definitely the one that shined more of the two, but was the second one let go.
I got
his name was 3 letters.
Oh, no, wait.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Yeah.
Wait, what other clues did you give me about this guy?
Very popular tag team.
Yeah.
Was the more popular of the two.
Yeah.
Or at least was the one that you
Are
figured.
we talking about Montel Vontavious Porter?
No, we are talking about JTG.
I loved that team.
It was a
That's
fun
gotta be a
team.
team we talk about sometime.
It was a fairly racist team,
but
the
gimmick was great.
It was
a different time.
It was racism where they won. They won all of the battles, so it was like
so well.
It's like we are leaning into the racism and coming out on top. So maybe it's kind of okay. It wasn't okay.
I couldn't get enough of
product
that.
of its time.
I could not get enough of that tag team. I loved them. I was. They were so overwhelming. It's another show for another time.
Yes.
Another discussion.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
We have to spin that wheel.
Oh, Clicky Von Wheeler.
Yes.
Let's do this real quick, and then you know what? We're gonna play a little music while we do this.
Okay.
By the way, you guys are gonna be going out while we spin Clicky Von Wheeler. This is Dance Champion by Kool and the Gang.
Yes. This is a deep cut.
Ow, my hand.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Clicky Von Wheeler. Next week's topic.
Yeah. It's the old tippity tap. Clicky Von Wheeler.
Tippity tap. Oh, the old tippity tap. I like it.
All right.
Give it a good one.
Let's see what we got. Ooh, listen to that sound. Listen to that baby purr.
Ready?
Yep.
It's...
What have we got?
Excuse me! Excuse me! Excuse me!
We are keeping our voices down, which is amazing, because it's almost impossible not to do that when we talk about Vicky Guerrero.
Vicky Guerrero we will talk about. And you know, there's a lot to talk about.
Yes.
So we'll
She's
do
a
that.
Wonderful woman.
We will do that here next week, 9 o'clock, right after the shows we watch. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank Gerard. I want to thank Chris, Mindy, Stephanie, everybody that tuned in.
Yes.
Thank you guys over on WLVU. And thank you, WLVU, for having us a part of the award-winning Lehigh Valley Underground Radio.
Absolutely. So we'll be back next Thursday night. We'll see you then.
Yes. Wait, now?
Then.
Now.
Whenever.
Whenever.
We got to work on that.
Hey.
But we will work on that. We will get that catchphrase down.
Take it easy, guys. See you next week.
Yes.
Dang it. Sorry about that.
That's okay. We didn't talk about it for the whole week.
I have to tell you.
Yes.
I mean, hopefully we'll appreciate this. when I don't have my glasses on.
Yes.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I thought that said... What happened?
Oh, I paused the music because we're
Don't.
all here. Ah. All right.
It's still live on the radio.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a jerk.
What are you doing? He's like, I don't want dead air, but I will create dead air.
I will do what I can.
Anyway,
Sorry about that, man.
I'm gonna tell you. I glanced and I thought it said 9-man band.
Like all the people who got fired came back in a Nexus-like attack.
Yes.
And 9-man banded.
Hey guys, we'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning in.